I just saw went to the movie last week, saw the new Bob Dylan.
Yeah, good movie.
And I hadn't been moved in a long time.
Uh-huh.
I've never actually, and they changed all the seats. I've never watched a movie in a hospital bed before. It's really, it's terrific, looking between my feet and, with a place to hang the urine bag underneath.
Now they do recline now.
So did you like the movie?
Oh, it was tremendous. Just the sheer volume of songs he put out, like all these hits. I was like, oh my gosh, all hooky, great songs. So which reminded me of my Bob Dylan tribute that I wrote for. Everybody on the radio that sings like this needs to cut Bob Dylan a check. I don't care if it's folk or rock or rap or pop or techno. No matter if you're center stage at the arena or just some three-chord hack. If you're singing like their throat is sore, time to cut Bob Dylan a check. It's $30 for a he, 60 for a and a 73. These prices don't include vocal polyps, setup and mechanical fees. Now, if you want to use the Nashville skyline, hey, that's quite all right, 'cause no one ever picked up on that but Pee Wee Herman and Dudley Do-Right. Mr. Springsteen, Mr. Cougar, Mr. Knopfler, Miss Etheridge and Sheryl Crow. How about cracking that checkbook and send old Bob some dough? Now, Jacob, he is old Bob's son, so I guess he can pass. But every now and then when he comes home, would it kill him to cut the grass? And it's $30 for a $60 for a baby, and a 73. These prices don't include vocal polyps, setup and mechanical fees. Now, if you want to use the Nashville skyline, yeah, that's quite all right, 'cause no one ever picked up on that but Pee Wee Herman and Dudley Do-Right. Everybody on the radio that sings like this needs to cut Bob Dylan a check. I don't care if it's folk or rock or rap or pop or techno. No matter if you're center stage at the arena or park bench busker man. How about cracking that checkbook and pay up to Robert Zimmerman?
All right. Beautiful tribute to Bob Dylan. We're going to be talking with comedian Dustin Nickerson. Hey, Dustin, good to see you, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's an honor. Appreciate this.
Married guy, single guy?
I'm married. I'm married with 3 children.
Whoa!
Yeah, 3 old children. I have teenagers and a young one in there. Yeah, it's
3 old children.
old children.
How young is the youngest?
10.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been pretty vague for 8 years or so. The birthdays just keep happening. It's crazy.
You kind of lose interest, don't you?
Yeah. I do hate that I know, they're like, when's your daughter's birthday? I'm like, the youngest? I know that one. The middle, I don't know, but I can tell you when pitchers and catchers report.
Wow. Just a couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I'm a Seattle Mariners fan. I'm very excited. What an exciting season we have ahead of us.
Yeah.
So I just did 40 this year. I hit 40, and we did a birthday party, and this is the last one that I get for a while, I think, because like birthdays are less significant. I've realized as you get older, like when you're young, you get with our kids, we give them every year, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 20s you get like every 5 years. Like 21, cool.
Right.
25, you get a full brain. Congrats. 30, 35, 40. Nobody cares till 50, 60, 70. And then I realized at 70, you get it every year again.
Right, yeah.
I remember 71. I'm like, oh, you're still alive. That's great. Yeah, we're really happy about
They're
that.
fading very quickly. They're fading very quickly. We're speaking with comedian Dustin Nickerson. Among these stops, he will be at the Comedy Works in Denver coming up just around the corner. Also, the Helium Comedy Club in St. Louis and Columbia, Missouri at the Blue Note just around the corner. Now, you're touring around. You're friends with our good friend, comedian Greg Warren.
Greg Warren, yeah, he's a regular here. Greg and I met touring with Bergazzi, and he's there. Yeah, Nate's great. Nate's great. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Yeah.
He's doing all right.
He's got a bright future. Keep an eye on that guy. Coming to an arena near you.
Yeah, Nate first came in here. He was playing one of the small clubs.
Sure
and
was.
I just remember it was fascinating that his father is a magician.
Yes. His father's on
yeah.
tour right now, as a matter of fact.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was talking to Nate recently. I was like, I don't know where they're gonna put you anymore. The venues are like, at a certain point, are we just gonna put you in a field, like
Woodstock?
A Gettysburg Address. like we don't actually build structures that can hold this amount of people.
Yeah.
So just go over there and orate for a while. But Greg's a friend, and I'll see him in a couple weeks when I'm in St. Louis. There, he's great, very funny guy, and
we don't really care for him. We just
I love to tell him that he has that wrestling isn't as impressive as he thinks it is, and it is a very impressive sport, but it irritates him, and I enjoy that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I've told him before that even wrestling at the college level is fake.
Yeah.
And he really gets irritated.
And you're not saying it's not athletic.
No.
But it's just fake.
Yeah, they have to know what they're doing so
Right.
they don't get hurt.
I virtually never fail to remind him that he has a cauliflower ear.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, how can you miss it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very
Well, yeah, I can
upsetting.
admit he wears the headphones. I ask him to take them off.
Yeah. Well, it looks like he's wearing headphones when he's not wearing them. It just
Hideous.
It is upsetting.
We have comedian Dustin Nickerson right over there and comedian Heywood Banks sitting right next to him. Heywood is the one with the guitar.
Good morning.
2 generations of comedy, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And we've learned that Dustin is the father of 3.
3 children. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if we still call them children at that age. They don't feel like children. The 17-year-old is just a smelly man roommate that I have. Yeah, I don't care for his company.
I see.
Yeah.
Good to know. The high school still?
High school, yeah, he's a senior. He's a wonderful kid. I think he's going to be a college athlete. He's fantastic. He's a runner. He's great. But yeah, at a certain point, you're just like, what is this extra man doing here? I don't care for this. I don't want you here. We always were like, we'll pay for 2 years of your school. Maybe you'll do 2. And now I get it now. Like once your kid becomes a senior, you're like, I'm willing to go $120,000 into debt to get you out of my home. That seems like a good deal, honestly.
Good price. I must say that we do have a special guest to the studio. He is new to our show. He's Dustin Nickerson, father of 3, husband of 1. You haven't
Husband of 1, yeah.
Haven't established anything.
Currently, we'll see how the 2025 goes. It's the modern era.
It sure is, yeah.
People are very open-minded these days.
How's that? That's going well though.
The marriage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. just checking.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Well, maybe we should. How many? 9
Yeah,
divorces?
we
3,
we
6,
don't have a
7.
whole lot of
Yeah,
good
7 in
this
here.
department.
Yeah.
Oh, combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, keep it going.
No, we're trying.
No,
yeah, sure.
Get it to double digits.
Couple single guy. We got never married Josh.
Yeah.
Never married Ace right there.
That's right.
So we got that going.
The wise guys.
I'm on my first marriage, although my wife was married before, so I introduce her as my first wife.
Yeah, I bet she loves that.
She does.
I introduce my wife as my ex-girlfriend.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah. She's not anymore, but no, I like the one marriage thing. I don't like. I've only me and my wife got married real young. So I was 19, she was 20, and people I'm only interested in
Cradle
that.
robber.
Yeah, 100%. Her, it went
Yeah.
down. She's the only person that's ever seen me naked, and that's the whole goal for me. Because I've never looked at my naked body and been like, let's get more eyes on this. Especially this. No, as far as she knows, this is the this is the peak. This is as good as it gets. So I'm, we're locked in.
Well, I'm glad it's going well.
Yeah, I made her swear to God she would never leave me.
There he is.
Hey.
The handsome factor of this show just went up by 99%. It's the great Joe Theismann. Good morning, sir. How are you, Joe?
Good morning to everyone, especially you, Chick.
Thank you, Joe.
So you got to be in a pretty good mood. No, were you in Detroit?
No, I wasn't in Detroit. I was actually in Atlanta for the national championship game.
Oh, yeah.
Notre Dame acquitted themselves very, very well, and Ohio State earned the opportunity to be, NCAA champions. So it was an incredible atmosphere, an incredible game, and so darn proud of my Fighting Irish.
As you should be. It was a good game.
Now, as many people know, listen to this program, Chick McGee, a gigantic fan of the Washington Football Club for many years.
I was going to tell Joe, I don't know if he remembers this, but in August, maybe July, you texted me and you said, all it said was, you're going to be very happy. That's all it said. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I hear this from everybody. Jaden Daniels poised, and he's not a rookie. Well, he's certainly not a rookie now, all the games he's played. But what was is it, I guess, I don't know if this is a bad question or not. What is the most important quality to be a quarterback in the National Football League that he's got it evidently?
That is a great question, Chick. I think that I think composure is very important.
Yeah.
How do you operate under fire? Mm-hmm. How do you operate when everything around you looks like it's collapsing? And he does that so well. I mean, if you were to ask your callers, say, list the 10 things that you would look for in a professional quarterback that you think would make that person outstanding. He fits every one of them.
Yeah.
He throws the deep ball well, handles pressure well, has great athleticism, makes good decisions. I call it football intellect. He knows when to get down and take care of himself. He knows when he has to go for something. Yeah. I mean, they trust him on fourth downs as much as anybody, and that to me is incredible. And Cliff Kingsbury, who's the offensive coordinator, I think does a great job of getting him into the flow of games, which is going to be important now because this is the third time they're going to play the Eagles. This has very little to do with concepts and schemes. This has everything to do with the players on the field making plays.
And the one thing I noticed early on was, and people say this a lot too, and it's hard to find, but the locker room for Washington, it really does seem like they are a team. And I don't know how Dan Quinn did that, or it comes in a bottle, or they ship it in boxes. But I mean, they've got it. They're in the locker room. They really do.
Yeah. If you look at some teams, it looks like the box that was shipped went to the wrong address.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
But in this case, I really feel like it was a great blend. Adam Peters, who's the general manager, and Dan put together a very interesting group. You have veterans like Bobby Wagner. You've got guys that have been there like Terry McLaurin that's never experienced anything like this. And then you have players like De'Ami Brown stepping up that you hadn't. And then you bring in Ertz. And then, Marshawn Lattimore, is now starting to play on the other side in the corner position. So the team got stronger as the year went on, had a great foundation. And interestingly enough, I don't know if we talked about this the last time, but this football team, when the season kicked off, there were about 60% of those guys that had never put a Commander's uniform on.
Yeah.
I mean, there was so much newness, new coaching staff, new system, new assistant coaching staff, a lot of new players. And they just continued to grow and grow and grow. And I think the game that I look back at in this season was the Chicago Bear game with the Hail Mary. It really gave this football team a sense that we're never out of it. And that's really the way they've played. Other than the Detroit game this past week, every other game, I think the last 6 have been nail-biters.
Yeah,
and they've come out on top on all of them.
Yep.
And fourth down now has just become an extension of third. I mean, they were like, 23 of 26 on fourth downs, some unheard of percentage.
I have to tell you, when they kicked the field goal against Detroit, or tried, and Zane missed it, but when I was kind of disappointed that they didn't try to go for it on fourth down. I was like, oh, come on, fellas,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Now, we've been talking about jewelry all morning, Joe, so I want to sort of segue into something. Do you have, your Super Bowl ring, do you wear it all the time, or is it for special occasions? What's the...
Special occasions. It's special. I wear it when I do my appearances. I wear it, doing autograph sessions, when I do motivational speeches. I don't wear it out in public a lot. It's, to be honest with you, I keep banging the ring against the window of the car or something else. I mean, ours, and I'll tell you something, ours are much, much smaller than the ones today. I mean, the New England Patriots, their 6th world championship ring, I mean, it's bigger than most watches, even the huge watches today. I mean, somebody asked me once, when a number of years ago, before they got really, really big, they said, geez, doesn't that bother you? I mean, how does it feel wearing that ring? I said, as soon as it cleared the knuckle, it felt very, very comfortable. But it's not cumbersome at all, and it's something you get to wear. And I ask people to do this, like when I've talked to a lot of different people. Tell me what the winning share of the Super Bowl is. If you win the Super Bowl, what's your winning share? Because everybody in this world is driven by money. But so what's the winning share of the Super Bowl? I promise you, without anybody looking up, couldn't tell you. Because it's not about the money. It's about the ring. It's about the symbol that it represents. That the opportunity now to say that, hey, look, I'm part of a world champion. And that's what the ring represents.
And I don't know if you've noticed this or not, everybody here in the studio looking on it. There's the Lombardi trophy right behind Joe. There it is. Yeah.
Did that for you this morning, Jake.
I appreciate it.
I know you wanted to see that.
That's the best.
Now, obviously, Joe, I assume that you don't have to wear like a lucky ring or jersey or something when you watch the game like Chick McGee. Do you want to explain what you did last week?
Well, I have a couple of jerseys that I switch, and if this jersey ain't working, I switch over to another jersey, and then I lay down on the floor or I stand up, or I'm a mess, Joe, but you know that.
Joe, did you have any particular rituals pre-game? Did you, one sock before the other, anything weird?
You mean when I played?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah. My ritual started Saturday night with a banana split.
Oh.
I had to have a banana split Saturday night, and if the hotels didn't have it, I would go to the kitchen and make my own. I'm incredibly superstitious that way. I used to undress, take my clothes off the same way, hang them on the same lockers. I used to dress the same way. I started with start with the jock strap, obviously. Okay, so
all right,
put that on, and then I tuck my socks in there. Okay.
Thank you,
Christy would hear that. Yeah,
Thank you for sharing.
Tucking his socks in the jock. We got that.
And then what I do is put my T-shirt on. Then I would lay a towel down on the floor, put a chair there, and I'd prop my feet up on the chair, sort of kick back a little bit. I'd have my game plan on one side, and I used to look at People magazine cover to cover, just sort of unwind a little bit mentally, and then I'd start to get dressed, and then I put the socks on, and then I'd put my pads into my pants. Put the left knee in first, right knee, left thigh, right thigh. Then I'd wear 2 thigh pads, or I should say knee pads. I tape them around my hips because I didn't wear hip pads. I sort of makeshift kind. Then I'd get dressed. I put my shoulder pads on, put my jersey on, tuck everything, put my shoes on. And then I would palm my helmet because my helmet wasn't that big. Contrary to what people believe, my head's not that big.
Now, was anyone allowed to speak to you during any of this period of time? Were other players?
That's another great question. No, nobody really ever came up. Everybody sort of lets people get into their own world. They sort of let them do their thing.
Yeah.
However you're preparing, they let you go prepare that way. And not a lot of conversation. I was always the last one dressed, last one to leave the locker room. But I used to palm my helmet. And what I would do is, how gunfighters do that, they spin their guns.
Right.
I used to flip my helmet around one time and then pop it on my head. And then as I left the locker room, there was the Redskin logo right above the doorway. And I would hit that logo for good luck. For the 12 years I was, part of the Washington Redskins, except for the night I broke my leg. I never said a word. I just hit the logo. The night I broke my leg, I hit that logo, and I said this. I said, tonight your life's going to change, Joe. Because we were in a lousy, we were playing, we were 4-5. I wasn't playing well. We weren't playing. I figured tonight was going to be the night my life would change. And little did I figure I was into prophecy, because it sure as heck did.
Wow. Now, we're speaking with football great Joe Theismann. By the way, Joe does some great public speaking. What's the best way to track you down, Joe?
They can. There's different speakers bureaus that I'm available to, or it's joetheismann.com is the website.
All right. Well, interesting to know about the pregame rituals. Now, as a grown-ass man, as they say, when you watch a game, unlike Chick, I'm assuming you don't have a lucky jersey you put on or any particular ritual
I have
now?
lucky underwear. I have lucky underwear.
Okay, that's good to know.
No, I don't. My wife and I will sit and watch the game, and I'll sit in a chair, and I'm up and down. I'm there.
Yeah.
I just can't just lie there and watch the game.
Right.
I'm up and down. I'm into the kitchen to get something to eat. Then I sit down. Then I'm into the kitchen and get something to drink. Then on the commercial break, I walk around the chair 2 or 3 times.
My question is probably the same one you have. Go ahead, Christy.
Are you an armchair quarterback? Are you yelling at the team? Are you telling them what to do?
Oh yeah, I'm yelling at the rep. I'm yelling at the team.
Do you yell at the announcers? Because I do that.
That's so weird, Joe, because I used to yell at you. Get the ball down the field, Joe. What are you doing?
Joe, do you accept questions from your wife, or does she know to shut up?
No, Robin is a football aficionado. She's into the game as much as I am, and she's as excited as I was. We went to obviously Atlanta for the national championship together, and we have 2 couches in the TV room, and she's on one, I'm on the other. I'm up and down on a couch, I'm up and down in a chair. Like I said, just walking around in circles, just nervous as could be. I have to tell you, I really get a fan's appreciation now of how they get worked up for games. It's so much easier to play in an NFC championship game and a Super Bowl than it is to watch one as a fan.
Yeah, I've always said that.
You have no control. No. Absolutely no control of the situation whatsoever. And it drives you crazy. And, you see a call being made, and it's like, you got to be kidding me. And, then I want to pick up the phone and call the commissioner and say, we need to put a rule in so that we can review every play.
Oh, yeah.
They challenge every play.
Right.
And,
yeah.
I think they're going to change some of the rules coming up next year with the competition committee as far as, we've missed a lot of face masks this year. The 2 calls against Houston, neither of them were penalties.
Nope.
As the penalty is described in the rules. So they'll do something. And, I'm excited for us going into Philly, like I say, for the 3rd time. Mm-hmm. And, people say, well, Jalen he may not be able to. It doesn't matter what the Philadelphia Eagles do. It only matters what the Washington Commanders are going to do. Yep. That's really where, as a player, that's where you focus your attention. What can we do? Not what they do, but we do.
Right. And real quick, Joe, do you have Kansas City and Buffalo? I feel like Kansas City might get upset on Sunday.
I do too. I think if the Buffalo Bills, any of the teams that have been very good over the recent years since Josh Allen's been there, I think this team has the ability to be able to spread the ball around. Josh continues to make good decisions, and he has. Yep. And that's going to be a key in this game. But boy, Patrick and Travis and that whole group, and Spags defensively has just come up with different ways to put pressure on people. I think this game belongs to the offensive line of the Buffalo Bills. If they can block Chris Jones and that defense and the multiple blitzes that Spags is going to bring, then they've got a chance to be able to beat the Chiefs. Because I think they'll put pressure on Patrick, but he's the best in football.
Yep.
I think Jaden's right there, the top 2 or 3 in the league as well.
Yes,
playing this year.
Yep. Well, it's always a great pleasure. We have to let Joe go. Joe is, of course, the author of How to Be a Champion Every Day. 6 timeless keys to success. It's a tremendous pleasure every time we get to talk to you, Joe. And I know we always ask the dumbest questions, except for Chick. But I'm very pleased to know about this pregame ritual. It's very exciting. Yeah. We'll look forward to talking to you again soon. Now, I will just do quick yes or no. Are you going to go to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I need to know. Well, if you do, we're going to talk to you before you go.
You got it.
If he still lets us.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Thank
Joe.
you so much, sir.
Have a good weekend.
He is Joe Theismann. It's so much fun talking to him. Can you imagine sitting there? He's reading People magazine. He's got his feet up in the locker room.
With just his jockstrap? Yeah, I can imagine.
And you heard the line about
Hey.
You heard the line about he puts the jockstrap and then he puts his socks in it. You heard that. Okay,
no,
good.
we heard the left knee, the right knee part is what we were
Okay,
talking about.
okay. Thank you very much. Now,
I didn't have the heart to tell him that I used to have Mark Rippon's jockstrap. I haven't ever told him that. I need to tell him that at some point.
Well, he's going to wonder how you got it. And
Well, there was a guy on the team I knew at the time, and
he managed
maybe
to
I won't
pick it up off the floor.
Okay.